the soldier who outsmarted his captors by playing dumb. Douglas Hegdahl was only 20 years old on April 6, 1967. He was a petty officer from South Dakota. On that day, Hegdahl was assigned the morning watch shift. He was aboard USS Canberra sailing down the coast of North Vietnam. When the cannons were firing, no one was supposed to be on deck. But Hegdahl must have missed the safety drill. At 3:30 a.m., he went out for a breath of fresh air. A blast from a 5-inch gun mount threw him overboard. Nobody saw Hegdahl go into the South China Sea. His crew didn't even report him missing for 2 days. Hegdahl swam for several hours. He was finally picked up by Cambodian fishermen. They turned him over to Vietnamese militiamen. He was severely beaten and taken to the notorious Hanoi Hilton prison. Hegdahl didn't know anything of value, but the Vietnamese refused to believe his story about falling off the ship. They were certain Hegdahl was an American commando. Hegdahl's father was actually a successful businessman, but Doug pretended he was a poor farmer's son. He presented himself as a country bumpkin, conscripted against his will. The communists couldn't help but sympathize. They stopped mistreating them and demanded he write an anti-war declaration. To their surprise, Hegdahl readily agreed. There was just one problem, he said. He was illiterate. His guards hired a Vietnamese tutor to teach him how to write, but every time they asked him to write a statement, Hegdahl acted even dumber. They finally gave up, dubbing him the incredibly stupid one. Hegdahl was given the job of cleaning the prison corridors. Doug used his relative freedom to perform acts of sabotage. He went to the prison garage, opened the gas caps of the trucks, and threw sand inside. He took 5 trucks out of service. Hegdahl's cellmate was Joseph Kreka, an Air Force officer. Kreka taught Hegdahl mnemonics to memorize 256 names of other prisoners. Hegdahl memorized everyone's names, capture dates, method of capture, and personal information. He sang the information to the tune of Old MacDonald Had a Farm. Doug Hegdahl was finally released on August 5, 1969. Most American POWs refused to accept an early release, but they insisted that Doug accept his. He didn't want to leave but knew he had to get the information out. When he returned to the US, Hegdahl provided a list of prisoners. He described the layout and the conditions of the Hanoi Hilton. In 1970, Hegdahl was sent to the Paris peace talks. He later became an instructor at the US Navy's Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape School. Douglas Hegdahl is 78 years old now. He still remembers the 256 names.